is an iceberg.
It's really cold here, but it's also really beautiful.
This place has a mythology all its own.
So we've got a full hour of Alaska myths.
Tourism types up here market the 49th state as the land of intensity. It's twice the size of Texas, so we figure it's big and intense enough to handle some high-impact myth-busting.
Like most of our favorite myths, this one involves some drunken friends and explosives. You got a group of drunken friends, one of whom's just bought a brand new SUV, and they all decide that they want to go duck hunting with their dog. Except there's nothing around them but a frozen lake, and no duck is going to land on a frozen lake, so they need to make a hole. One of them offers up a stick of dynamite with a 20-second fuse to make a big hole, and throws that stick of dynamite as hard as he can.
I can see what's coming.
The dog, following its natural impulses, chases after that stick of dynamite, catches it, starts ferrying it back to the guy under the brand new SUV.
Uh-oh.
The dog, the dynamite, and the SUV go boom! The SUV goes down to the bottom of the lake, and the guy who owned it is still making payments.
This not-so-urban myth surely stretches the bounds of human stupidity. My sympathies are all with the dog, though you must admit, it's as funny as hell. But maybe it's too funny to be true. As Jamie and Adam set off to find their frozen lake, it's worth noting that this folktale is almost as old as dynamite itself.
Over 100 years ago, Australian author Henry Lawson wrote a comic story along very similar lines. He called it The Loaded Dog, and needless to say, he made the whole thing up. Still, we can't assume it couldn't happen, and that's enough reason to put it to the test.
The first thing we obviously needed was a frozen lake, and the researchers found us one here in Alaska behind me. This snowfield you see is in fact Fisher Pond, a man-made lake, which means there are no fish for us to kill, with a nice coating of rock-hard ice on top.
The ice on the pond is too thick to dig through, and that supports the myth. But can it support a 2-ton truck?
Okay, here we go.
Orson Smith and his fancy ice drill should give us a quick answer. Fans of slapstick should appreciate the breakthrough moment.
Whoa! That's a hell of a thing.
The ice core cracks up as it's bashed loose.
Look at that.
Put back together, it's 1.5 feet thick.
So it's got vertical crystals that make it really stronger than average.
So it's safe for us to drive our SUV out here?
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
I think so.
Good.
That'll hold a lot more than that SUV weighs.
So far, so good, and it's really cold. Out here on the lake, it's 20 below, but that can't slow down the science.
Look, this story has a ton of components to it, and the first part of it is how far can you throw a stick of dynamite?
Standard stick of dynamite, about 8 inches long, about 1/2 pound. I figure I can throw it about an M5, which is 100 feet. That's how we measure things, Adam and I.
Remember, kids, this isn't real dynamite. We would never throw real dynamite, and neither should you. All right, Jimmy. I want you to put your chi into this thing. That's it. Go! Nice!
Jamie's toss is up over the 100-foot mark. Now it's Adam's chance to prove he's got the mojo of the throw, Joe.
Those look to be about the same.
2 hefty, manly throws with an average distance of...
125 feet.
Okay, time to bring out the dog. This is Rudy, a young black Labrador. Puffing, drooling, and full of running, he's a born retriever, making him the perfect candidate to try to cover the distance there and back before the 20-second fuse fizzles out.
The myth is about a black lab that retrieves a stick of dynamite. That's what Rudy is. As you can see, he's raring to go. He really wants to retrieve that stick of dynamite.
And has no idea what he's signed up for. Now, we've got to get another myth started. Alaska really is a land of intensity. The wilderness, the wildlife, and the winters. It's those short, cold days that make this state home to an all-time classic myth.
What do we got?
Well, you know, winters in Alaska are pretty harsh. The days are short, the nights are real long, people get snowed in with nothing to do, and supposedly they succumb to a condition known as cabin fever.
You mean they get like all loopy?
Exactly, and, well, we're gonna put it to the test.
Well, you're already a little nuts. How are we gonna tell the difference?
Actually, it turns out that there are a distinct set of symptoms to cabin fever. All we gotta do is put ourselves in the right conditions and see if we exhibit those symptoms.
Carrie delayed her flight back to sunny San Fran to act as the moderator of mental health.
I found the perfect location to test cabin fever on Jamie and Adam. Hatcher's Pass Lodge in Alaska, far from anything.
Adam and Jamie are just minutes away from a stint in solitary and a possible descent into madness.
It's tiny, it's in the middle of nowhere, and you can barely see out the windows, it's so white.
They'll spend their time just hanging out in adjacent huts. A sudden flurry of snow sets the scene.
This is perfect for an Alaska adventure. Hi, Carrie.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
You can barely see anything.
Hey.
It's about to get dark. There's a snowstorm. Are you ready to get cabin fever?
I'm ready. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Wait till I show you to your room.
The rooms aren't bad, but they've both been stripped back to bare essentials, as are the boys. They're well searched for anything that might divert or entertain.
So, hope you have no other contraband, no electronics. I need your watch as well.
I have no electronics, no reading material. That's my watch.
Both of our detainees think this will be a walk in the park. And let's remember that Jamie's already spent quality time inside a coffin.
And he's still alive.
But they're not so sure about each other.
Whether Adam is going to deal with this real well, I don't know. Adam's a little, impulsive.
Only a friend could put it so gently.
He could just, like, get a bug up his butt and go nuts for all I know. I don't really know.
And right back at you from cell block 1, good buddy.
Oh, I think Jamie will be painting on the walls in his own blood inside of 46 hours.
Well, that should add some color. But let's spare a thought for Carrie. She has to watch these two slowly unravel.
This is my big sister's surveillance system. I've got 4 cameras, one in the front and back of each cabin. I can switch between the cameras with the touch of a button and watch their every move.
Surveillance aside, Carrie's running cognitive and stress tests to get some hard data. But our volunteer voyeur has her own troubles.
I think I'm gonna go crazy before they are. Did I mention we're in the same circumstance that they are, except for I have to watch them be bored?
Jamie, at least, has a simple plan to preserve his sanity.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Every day is going to be working out until I'm exhausted, and then I'm going to sleep.
The man with the mustache kicks off in style, but the short days and long nights might soon sap his spirit. So, who's going to crack first? Adam, Jamie, or Carrie? Sweet dreams all round.
Good night.
Adam and Jamie are freezing their facial hair on an icebound Alaskan lake. They're testing the myth that a committed canine could cause a hunting party to sink to a new low. And for test 1, it's time to put the shaggy dog part of this story under the MythBusters microscope.
So the myth states that the guys used a 20-second fuse on their stick of dynamite. Now the question is, can a dog, from a cold start, run to 125 feet, fetch a stick of dynamite, and come on back in under 20 seconds? And that's what we're about to answer with Rudy.
Of course, for this test, they swapped the dynamite for a rubber ball, but you get the idea.
We got our starting line, we got the target pylon over there. Let's just throw the ball a few times and I'll time it. I'll bet you can throw it where he gets it right about at that pylon and comes on back, and we'll just see how long that takes.
It sounds simple, but remember that Rudy is not only skidding around on slippery ice, but it's 20 degrees below zero.
Good boy.
You'd think he'd get slower and slower, but each successive fetch and return reads the same on Adam's stopwatch, 16 seconds.
So far, the idea that the dog could actually get the stick of dynamite and bring it back is looking really good. It's totally doable as far as the myth is concerned.
This whole myth is falling nicely into place, perhaps a little too nicely. Here comes the bit where we try blasting a hole through the ice,
Thanks, guys.
sinking this car with one stick of dynamite.
You know, we broke out of jail with a single stick of dynamite during the Western Myths episode.
Or at least tried to.
Well, the jail's still there.
The jail is definitely still there. After watching that, I can't see this doing enough damage to the ice to sink this SUV.
I don't think it's going to do it, but it might.
Yeah, it might. And just in case the car ends up at the bottom of the pond, heavy chains are latched onto the chassis.
So far, the Alaskan Myth is looking pretty good. The dog did his job real well, but now it all comes down to this. If one stick of dynamite can't sink the car, it's busted.
And now back to the myth designed to separate Adam and Jamie from their fragile faculties. Day 2 dawns on our cabin fever test, though it should be noted that a midwinter Alaskan sunup kicks in around 10 a.m.
Good morning. It is the morning of day 2. I've had a reasonably fitful night of sleep. I had some really weird dreams. I dream I'm in a plane and slowly crashing down on a street in San Francisco. And I'm way up at the cockpit and I turn to everyone and I say, listen, I don't think this is a real plane crash because I happen to notice that I'm not wearing any pants. And whenever I'm not wearing any pants, it's probably a dream.
Carrie's up already, bright-eyed, keen-eared, and she's wearing pants.
It's early morning, and this is actually the first surprise, is that Jamie is still sleeping. He's an early riser. Usually he's up doing exercise and probably into the shop by 5 a.m. Adam, on the other hand, is just a beehive.
Jamie does eventually rouse himself and starts the first of his 2 tests. The cognitive test aims to see if their mental faculties decrease over time. The saliva test is a stress indicator, but to get a fair reading, you can't eat or drink beforehand.
Oh, you know what though? I think he just took a drink of water right before he took this test.
So this and, trust me, many spit tests to come count for nothing.
Spit reading of 35. This is the morning of the second day, so apparently I'm pretty relaxed.
Shame we can't say the same for Carrie. But biometrics aren't the only indication of who is or isn't stressed and bewildered. Hap Wurlitzer owns these cabins, and he's come real close to misplacing his own marbles through many a long winter.
It happens to everybody in Alaska, including me.
What would you consider the symptoms?
Well, it's probably being on edge, irritability, angry-looking eyes, forgetfulness.
What's going on?
And sleeping extra time in the cabins.
So now we know what to look for. Jamie's already a pinup boy for symptom number 4. Next door, Adam can't stop fidgeting.
Adam's body language at the moment shows that he's sort of antsy. Oh, he's going for the coat hanger. I knew he would make something with the coat hanger. I would totally make something with the coat hanger.
Desperate times call for desperate diversions. Adam's building a fancy desktop toy from his one potential plaything, a wire coat hanger.
I've spent some time making a little whirligig here out of one of the 2 coat hangers I found on the rack.
Meantime, the big news from cabin 2 is that Jamie's sitting up.
I think Jamie has reached full Buddha. He has not moved in an hour.
Before day's end, both boys find time to write in their journals, then repeat their cognitive and spit tests.
123? What are you, crazy? Look at this.
Okay, just forget the stress test. What we all need here is a timeout and a nice nap. As the sun sets, it's hard to say if either one technically has cabin fever. The boys say no, but Carrie's unconvinced. She knows that every picture tells a story. Adam and Jamie are locked in mortal mental combat. The winner of this cabin fever test is the first one to start talking to his own toenail clippings.
I've just had the worst night of sleep I've ever had in my life.
Jamie has gotten up and straight away started eating. He has not done his spit swab test, which is a problem for me because it's going to mess up my data. Either he's forgetting or he's just lost the plot completely.
But don't underestimate Adam's cold weather quirks. These long-lived military rations are called MREs, or meals ready to eat. Some soldiers call them meals ready to expel.
For breakfast today, I'm gonna have a little jambalaya.
It's not exactly toast and grapefruit, but he might get a chance to test his chemical toilet.
Oh, I forgot to try the Tabasco in there.
Yes, charming. The morning wears on, and self-sufficient Jamie finds there's one thing he can't live without.
I don't have any coffee, which bugs me because I'd be a lot more active and less inclined to just nap, which I'm sure is scintillating TV to watch me nap, but it's not my decision. Oh great, we got a Yeti outside.
I've decided to play a little prank on Jamie and Adam with the help of the ultimate urban legend.
Jamie's cold stare shows he's not amused. But Carrie gets a better response from Adam.
He's hiding in the bathroom from the snow yeti.
Sounds like Carrie's the one who's ready to crack.
I have to get out of here.
But she has a remedy. For one crazy hour, Carrie does everything worth doing on fresh white snow. And I mean everything.
It's my best work yet.
So far, Adam and Jamie have ticked every box and peed on every post in the Dynamite dog store.
16 seconds.
Now they need to see if one stick of dynamite really can break the ice and sink this car, which has exactly the same curb weight as the one in the Myth.
There's something known as reflection, meaning that the blast can bounce off of the underside of the SUV and into the ice. The ice is brittle. I don't think it's going to do it, but it might. Well, guys, it's the moment of truth. It's time to put a stick of dynamite under this SUV and see what happens.
Oh yeah, man. All of our facts so far are stacked up pretty plausible. This is the last link in the chain. Frank, do you have a stick of dynamite for us?
Right here it is, the real thing.
That is red and everything. That's perfect.
Now, cover your ears and thank goodness you're not here on Fisher Pond. This is what happens when MythBusters play with dynamite.
Burn a hole!
Almost nothing.
Whoa.
The ice is slightly dented, the car is undented, and this myth is busted.
I see a little dent there, and that's about it.
Yeah, other than that, no damage.
The dog would have been gone, but the truck's still here. Look, the ice that we're on right now is a good average thickness for a frozen lake that you'd feel safe driving an automobile out onto. So, based on what we've seen, we have to call it busted.
Busted, but not beaten. We've all come a long way in the freezing cold to see a good old-fashioned truck sinking. And 24 pounds of dynamite packed inside these high-tech directional cones should do the trick.
Well, it's clear from the hole pattern I see around the car that we've got a nasty case of ice gophers. These little varmints will bore their way around any vehicle they find on the ice to chew on it underwater. There's only one way to take care of them, and that's high explosives.
Burn a hole!
3, 2, 1. Bye-bye.
The ice ripples out like a liquid earthquake. Surface snow fills the air and blurs the view. By the time it clears, the car has disappeared.
I don't see no SUV.
No more SUV.
It went bye-bye. So what do you think? Did it just blow the truck up or did it sink it?
Well, I see a couple pieces of debris from the truck, but nothing major. I think it sank 99% of that truck's under the water.
Let's yank on the chain and see what happens.
Okay.
Incredibly, this fresh blasted duck pond is already freezing over. Adam and Jamie really don't know for sure where the car went, but a few tugs on the chain confirm they've got a 2-ton catch.
I think we're gonna need more explosives to get this truck out.
I think we are.
If they work putting it in, they're gonna work getting it back out again.
That's true.
No, we're not yanking your chain. To get the car back, they have to blast the ice one more time. Filming stops as the light fades, but the car was retrieved. We've left this pristine pond pretty much the way we found it, busting a myth and saving a puppy in the process. They don't know it, but Adam and Jamie are just a few hours short of finishing their cabin fever experiment. Judging solely by the video evidence, it won't be a moment too soon.
Well, the sun is out, and it's made it unfathomably beautiful out here. I don't know whether the sun is just about to set over the mountain there, or has just risen over the mountain there. I've already lost all my concept of time.
And here's what's happened so far. They've been bored. They've slept. They've exercised. They've gone back to sleep.
I napped the first day because I could. It was great. Get up when you want, go to sleep when you want.
And by drinking just before the saliva tests, they've both ruined any chance of accurate stress data.
Having just woken up from a nap, it's saying that my stress reading is 94. Hey, look.
Okay, that's just scary. Meantime, Jamie's decided to hold a one-man convention and draft a new U.S. Constitution. Seriously.
You know, it started because we started seeing T-shirts that says Savage Heinemann 08. The first thing that we'll do is relocate all politicians to employment on pork farms. And then we'll pretty much start from the ground up and try to come up with a system that actually works. You know, get people that run the country that are actually literate, things like that.
This test has run its course, and Carrie's ready to pull the plug.
Adam's been both irritable and really restless. He's been pacing around the room. Both of them have been forgetful. Either they're not doing their tests, they're forgetting to do them all together, or they're making a lot of mistakes. And finally, they are sleeping a whole lot. It's practically hibernation. These could be the symptoms of cabin fever. I've seen enough. I'm gonna bust them out. Have you had enough?
I've definitely had enough. This was far from the relaxing respite that I thought it would be.
Now, let's see how Jamie coped with just Jamie for company.
The worst part was the beginning. Off it being here because you're in a closed up room. Chances are you're not going to like it as much as if you had all your normal stimulus.
Have you had enough?
I'm just starting to get into it. I'm not sure what that proves, and I was a little off about it. But that being said, then I started to get into it.
I craved the sound of a human voice. I missed my wife. I haven't been bored, but I have been really lonely.
But the real question remains, did either one ever lose his fragile grip on sanity? The cognitive test results were too consistent to prove anything. and they both blew the spit tests. But Carrie's kept a lookout for Hap's 4 sure signs.
What's going on with me?
Irritability.
The mattress was terrible.
Forgetfulness. Angry eyes.
Oh, yeah.
And excessive sleeping.
Napping in the afternoon, napping in the morning.
I love napping.
All right, guys, how do you want to call this one?
Well, based on the surveillance, you exhibited 4 out of 4 of the cabin fever symptoms, and you won.
Yeah, but he's a robot.
And I just got in. It was a long trip. I was tired.
I think we could call this plausible.
Plausible it is.
Okay, plausible. Can I go back to the room now?